Well, welcome, guys, back to the solo gigging live. I just wanted to touch base on what This is going into summer here, and they call it the slow shoulder. Spring and fall. There's two of them. You got one in spring and then one in fall. And so, yeah, it's a downtime to be able to take your gear, clean up your gear, update your gear, update your songbook, or make some changes, new songs and stuff like that in your book. So, and I touched based on that a couple episodes ago or whatever, but yeah, so it's a good time to do it. But I wanted to touch base on is a little bit of confidence. This is for the guys that are out there, not entry level, but the guys that are just starting off the gigging life. Whether this is your first venture, or you're from a band and stuff like that. Most of you guys that have gone solo have probably already been in a band and done all that stuff and everything. So you've got the experience. But this is for the guys that are just not really, don't have that confidence that you really, really need, because it's so important to have confidence when you get out there and entertaining the crowd. You have to have experience in that, and that's why I kind of tell people that kind of want to get into the solo gigging thing. They can play the guitar. They know 6 chords and they know a bunch of songs. So, yeah, I would say, just like you said, you need the confidence, but to build that confidence up, really, you need to take kind of baby steps, I guess, jam with friends, because if you haven't jammed in front of people before, it could be a little nerve-wracking. So I say start off and just jam with friends, do parties, pull the guitar out on parties and jam, 5, 6 songs or whatever in front of everybody. And so that helps you give you experience once you start lining up gigs. And then obviously once you're in the woodshed and you've got 4 sets down, 3 to 4 sets down, that's what I would do. I would definitely shoot for 4 sets ultimately. But you only need really 3 sets to get out there and start, because and each set is anywhere between 10 to 12 songs, So start off easy, play in front of family, friends, barbecues, get-togethers, stuff like that. Just get the small stuff, stuff you obviously you're not going to be paid for it, but if you can, whatever. But so starting off like that and taking baby steps really is going to help your confidence, because even us veterans that have been around for a while and been doing this for a long, long time, even our confidence gets a little pushed a little bit, gets a little riled up. So especially if you haven't been out in a while or whatever, because it happens to everybody. There's no discrimination on being insecure or having enough confidence to get out there and do it, because it is kind of a nerve-wracking thing. It's not like like I said, in a band situation. When I was in a band, you had your boys to back you up. You kind of turned around and they were there with you, and so. But now soloing, that's why my hat goes off to like comedians. They're a solo act, they stand up there and they got to hold the crowd all by themselves. And basically being a solo artist is the same thing. You got to hold that audience. You're by yourself. So, So basically I just wanted to, say that, and just say that you really need to build up your confidence and make sure you have strong confidence to get out there and because you want to leave an impression with the venue you're playing at. You want to leave an impression to all the waiters and waitresses and cocktail waitresses and the bartenders. You want to make an impression on them. You want to have that confidence to say, hey, listen, I'm going to do some music here. I'm going to entertain some people. I'm going to keep them here. They're going to drink longer. they're gonna that till's gonna start ringing up at the cash register. You know, the people that are bartending and stuff, and they like to see that. So you've got to build up some pretty good confidence to do that, and help, you know, because you know, you want to be an asset. You don't want to just be tagging along and riding on somebody else's coattails. You want to be able to take the bull by the horns, get out there, do a killer performance, and don't look back. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. You really have to do, and this is for the guys that are just starting off or considering doing it. And obviously, it's a lot of practice in the woodshed. You know, just get your songs laid out and get like 3 sets, and then eventually get yourself 4 sets, because you could come across a gig. I'm sure a lot of you guys know, especially the veterans out there, they've done 4-hour gigs. Matter of fact, I remember last year somebody telling me they did a 6-hour thing or something like that. What? I don't think my fingers could last that long. You know, because I'm a kind of a hard player. I play what I'm learning, though, as I'm getting older and in time, and the more experience I get, because I've only been soloing for 7, 8 years, and then, you know, 25, 30 years of being in a band before that. So yeah, so just it's important to build up that confidence, and a good way to do that is you know, feeling secure about your set, and make sure you got it down, getting out there and breaking the ice, you know, cutting your teeth, you know what I mean? Get out there and just do it, and even if they're not paid gigs. And then once you've got that, built that confidence up, and you've got 3 sets, then start knocking on doors. Go to your restaurants, bars, and stuff like that. Let's see, what's been going on with me? Well, I'm really having trouble trying to get a band together. I must really suck at guitar playing and singing. God, no, it's not that. It's, you know, there's people up here in this town. I don't know what the population here is up here in Big Bear, but with Big Bear City, and you know, the whole valley up, Mountain Valley up here, there's not a lot to choose from. So, you know, yeah, we found this bass player, and I've got this great drummer. He's a fantastic, and he's got such a good heart. He's just a good man. So, but the thing is he's pretty busy. He's got a lot of stuff going on, and so we were supposed to rehearse tonight, but it didn't happen. So he got called in on his work, and so he's going to be down the hill all week, and we'll be back on Thursday. And then he said in the text if I could play Saturday. Well, I'm working Saturday. I've got a gig on Saturday, but I could have done it Sunday. But you know, Sunday is kind of a day of rest. You know, with my significant, with Kimmy, just kick back and rest, and you know, eat, all that good stuff. That's how I party now. Yeah, I eat. Oh, once in a while I have a cocktail, but not too often. But anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with me. I'm trying to still struggle and put a band together. And meanwhile, I've updated my gear, not for my solo act, but for my band act. And so, do you guys remember this thing? I'm going to show this to you right now. This thing right, God, I hope you can see me. I'm looking in the lens right now, or looking in the little view window, and it's really dark, so hopefully you'll see me, but I can probably light that up. Anyways, you guys remember this guy right here, don't you? Showed you that a couple episodes ago. This pedal is badass. It's got every sound. It's a Jimmy pedal, and it's got the wah. It's got the exact sound, duplicated sound of All on the Watchtower. Purple Haze. It's got the fuzz for that, Purple Haze, and Foxy Lady, Machine Gun. All those big hits that Jimmy did are all on this. So there's 7 settings. So there's 7 different Jimmy settings. You can see on the right here. Let me give it a little tap. So Yeah, there's 7 settings on this pedal. Oh yeah, and so it's an amazing pedal. The effects on it are amazing. But this is the problem I came across, was that live I can't, when I'm sitting there with the band, because the problem is the level, volume level on each setting is different. A few of them are the same level, not the gain, but the level, volume. But there's most of the good settings on there. They're real hot. They're real loud. So when I hit the pedal, to get to that setting, it's just boom. It's real loud. So so that's the whole thing, is I don't want to have to bend down and adjust the level and bring it down. So I'm going, God, that's not going to work for me. So I'm retiring this thing, this beautiful pedal here, this awesome pedal. I'm retiring this to the studio. I'm not getting rid of it. I love it. I love the sound on it, but this is more for the studio. For a matter of fact, I'm working on a new song right now, and I'm probably going to use his settings on here. It's even got the settings for, I got clean settings. It's got the settings for Little Wing, and what else? I think the Wind Cries Mary. So it's got 7 Jimmy settings on here. So yeah, so this is going to be retired. Yeah, I'm not going to use it live. So what I decided to do in a budget form, I decided to do what Jimmy, just basically do separate pedals like Jimmy did. That's the only way to do it, because that way you can adjust your volume, your level on each pedal pretty much the same. So whatever you go to, obviously if you put on a fuzz or distortion or something like that, when you're going to go into a lead or something like that, you want it a little bit hotter, but you can adjust it separately. This you can adjust separately, but you're also adjusting all the other modeling Jimmy sounds on there. So it's not, I don't think, if you're only using 1 or 2 settings on this, but I could be using 3 or 4 or 5, maybe, or whatever. But anyway, so I decided to go separate with everything. So I went and got me a board and got all the pedals separate. Let me just show you what I got here. And I actually got this for a pretty reasonable, I put this together for a decent amount of money, a decent price, right? So here, I'm gonna show you here. Okay, here we go, right here it is. So this is the pedal I put together. I went and got me a Vox, same thing that Jimmy used. I don't know which one this is the one this was only $100. I think the one that Jimmy used, I forgot what model it is, actually has a chrome top on here, and I think that's the one. But then all of a sudden I think I seen some other Voxes that were all blacked out. They were Vox. This is the wall that Jimmy uses, and he also uses this fuzz face right here. This is obviously a contemporary version of the fuzz face. They make a bigger one. It's weird. The bigger ones, the size, the one that he actually used, it's a bigger one, and he just had it laying on the ground. The big one is, and also too, he did, his tech did some tweaking on the guy who was messing with his pedals. So, but they did duplicate the sound really damn close. I mean, it's so close, it's stupid. So this fuzz face is really sweet, and the small one ended up being more expensive than the bigger one, maybe because the bigger one just doesn't go good on boards, on pedal boards. So it's just made to sit on the ground. But anyway, so I got this right here, this guy here, Legally Done. This is a noise gate. Okay, you kind of have to have a noise gate. You need a little compression. That's one of my favorite compressions I use for guitar, for electric guitar. My tuner, of course, this is the first thing I go into. And then I've got this guy here. I did my homework on this. Amazing distortion on this thing. It's got some cool distortion settings on here. I just really like this thing. And I did some homework on it, and I was on YouTube, as we do. And so it's got great overdrive. So I've got my fuzz, I've got my overdrive. Okay, so how I'm doing this on the chain of this is going, I just got the chords and finish this off. Go into here, into tuner, come out, I go into the legally done noise gate, then noise gate, I go to the compression sustainer, and then from the compression sustainer I go out inside the board, out here and into the Vox, and then from the Vox I go into the fuzz face, and then from the fuzz face I go into the distortion. This distortion is really kind of cool too. This fuzz face is badass, but this here is just got, you've got different settings for distortion. Really sweet, and you can dial it in. You know, it's got, you got your gain, and you've got tone, and yeah. And so also what I'm using too, oh, and then so then out of here, and then you want your like delays and choruses and stuff like that, you want those last coming out of your thing. Actually, what a lot of people will do will keep this on the board, but then they split the effects, and they will go to effect send inside the amp if your amp has it, and my amp does have it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it like this. This is the Voodoo Vibe, Jimi Hendrix. Hang on, Univibe. So basically, it's Univibe. This is called the Voodoo Vibe, but it's a Univibe. So that's what it is. And then he's got another effect that he uses. I don't think I'd be using that. What, I'm trying to remember the name of the effect of that one. But anyways, so this goes in here and out, and then into my delay, because the Marshall I'm using, that Origin 50, does not have any reverb or anything on it. So I didn't get a reverb. I just got a delay, and this little Donner delay is pretty pitching. I mean, it sounds great. So yeah, so that's all I'm using. It's you know, not a real expensive pedal board. The board itself, I think I got for like $50 or something, like 60 on Amazon. It's called, and it comes with the bag, which is kind of cool, carrying bag. I put my cords in here, some of my cords, but it's a Locato. I'm sure it's straight from China. I'm sure it is. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get my sign down. Also, what I did too is all right, so what I'm going to do is, oh, the sun finally came out. Oh, this feels good. Wow. So anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll get up, I'll talk to you guys next week, and I'll think of a good subject. If you guys have any questions or anything, put them in the comments below, and maybe what I'll do is I'll do answer questions or something. Go over the list. I'll print out on the comments what people are asking. I'll try to ask some of those questions. But yeah, so it's confidence, guys. Get the confidence together. You guys that are just starting off, get the confidence together, and that's half the battle. You got to have the confidence. If you don't have confidence, man, you're gonna choke, and you'll have some failures in front of you. Just get that confidence. You're gonna have failures anyways, but I mean, at least with confidence, man, you just brush over and move on and go to the next step. But anyways, so you guys all rock. Thank you for the support on the channel. Thank you for the thumbs up, and if you guys haven't, some of you guys haven't subscribed, subscribe if you can. You know, doesn't cost you anything. But anyways, ciao for now, you guys. Talk to you next week.